to the elevator. Excuse me, Madam Chairman. I brought the ladies and gentlemen of Class 7. Bring them in. As you wish. What's that, like 2 computers? Definitely fancy. Jeez, there's like nowhere to sit though. It's just a gigantic room. I guess for dramatic effect. A little bit oversized though. Wow. You can tell the buck stops here. That's one heck of a view.
So it looks like the Courageous's inaugural flyover in Heimdall and Ruhr was a success.
She's on the phone.
But don't release an official statement until tomorrow. Yes, that'll be fine. Yes, I'd like you to begin as soon as possible, and keep a careful eye out for any insider trading. Hello, Arena Reinford speaking. Yes, I understand. Fast-track the construction on the special train if you can. No, pay it no mind. I doubt Crossbell-related shares rising is indicative of a larger market trend. But sell them all early next month. Timing is key here.
Wow. She's like a commander issuing orders across multiple fronts.
Lisa's so annoyed.
Yeah. It's impressive to see Toa do it, but Mrs. Reinford seems to have it down to a science.
She's a general on the battlefield of business.
That's true, and for a woman doing that, nice. You know, if you don't see that every day, she's still to smack the desk.
Right.
Right. That's all we get.
We all have other matters we need to attend to, so I'll get right to the point. Here.
Wow, she's already giving us her thing, not even saying anything.
What?
Thank you.
Okay.
I've cleared my schedule to dine with you this evening, so anything you wish to discuss can wait until then. I'll leave the rest to you, Sharon.
As you wish, Madam Chairman. When do you expect to return this evening?
I'm planning on 7. Have our guests enjoy a night cruise, if you will.
That sounds splendid. I'll make the necessary arrangements. That's it? That's all you have to say?
I mean, she's busy. Probably too busy.
I don't care if you ignore me. That's nothing new. But my classmates are here and you're on our board of directors. Would it kill you to show at least a little interest?
Elisa.
Whoa, Elisa, it's okay. You don't need to get worked up for our sake.
Oh, I almost forgot to mention.
Oh boy.
Huh?
If you want to return in one piece, I'd suggest you steer clear of the Provincial Army and the Railway Military Police. The same goes for the Marquis's mansion, though I can't imagine what business would take you there. Use common sense, and don't try to overstep your bounds. That'll be all.
Wow, she
Have
says...
a safe trip, Madam Chairman.
Trip? Where is she going?
Wow, your mom's a real piece of work, Elisa.
The Army only wishes it was that efficient.
She certainly has the mettle to head up an international company like this, to say the least.
See? You see why I didn't want to come back now? You can't tell me that gave you a great impression of her.
I think you're being a little hard on her.
She was looking out for our safety, giving us that advice.
Just forget it. Getting all worked up and storming off in a huff is what she wants me to do, and I'm not going to give her the satisfaction.
Okay.
We'll be back before sundown, Sharon. I'd like you to have the guest rooms and dinner preparations sorted by then. Oh, and see to our luggage, would you? As you wish. Have a safe trip, everyone.
Yeah, back to normal dialogue. Or not audible dialogue. I have to read it. You know, I'm all in favor of jumping right into our field study tasks. But is it really okay to just dump all our luggage on Sharon? I was running them the same thing. All the luggage together must have quite a heft. It's Sharon. She'll be fine. Honestly, can you imagine her breaking a sweat carrying suitcases? I can't. You've got a point. She'll probably carry them all in one go. Well, looking after guests does seem to be her specialty. Exactly. Anyway, let's see what kind of things we've got lined up for this trip. Alright. Let's say 3. Yeah. Mining a minor metal. Spin a Byrode monster. Russia Provincial Army. Powerful beast has appeared on the Spina Byrode. The army hereby requests extermination. Rocky Croaker. To the left, outside stage or left. Once the monster is eliminated, please report to the soldiers in front of the Marquis Rogner's residence. Can you hear me now? Chief Johan. Like I had with an expert that concerns your Arcus unit. With an experiment that concerns your Arcus units. I'll be waiting for you inside the RF store. I'll tell you more when I see you, Johan. Researcher Ratto. I'm looking particularly for a rare sort of metal for my research, but I'm afraid I can't get it myself. Willing to help, I'll be in the western part of the upper level of the Ruhr Institute of Technology. Ratto. Okay, well, we'll do the monster first, then Kimmy now, then that. Okay, blah. Looks like she hit the sweetest spot with the challenge factor. Kinda reminds me of Makia's dad. Bah, can't really deny it. I'll bet she's so sure she's got us pegged, she'll probably thinks we won't be able to finish all these. But just you watch, we'll finish up every last one before this evening. That'll show her. Huh, that's the spirit. Anyway, it's only 11:30 now. We've got plenty of time before sundown. We've definitely got the hang of this. We'll whole field state thing by now, so let's show her some Class 7 spirit. Right. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Huge doors. Okay, good. Okay, good. Well, as you've heard, the Institute of Technology is right here, so... I'm still playing with the car. So this is the Ruhr Institute of Technology. We had a request from someone here. It's a famous university and research institute. Lots of the country's brightest technicians studied here. And a lot of them got scooped up by the Ranford Company after graduation. They offered George some pretty sweet deals to encourage him to apply here after he graduates. Jellicoe's orbital bike was originally being researched here too. I think George has mentioned that before. Sounds like they've got all kinds of cool stuff in development here. What are we waiting for? Let's go on in. Right. All Fee gets to say is right. That's it. Hello, Ratto. Huh, judging by this uniform, you're all students, aren't you? You look kind of familiar too. We're students from Thors Military Academy. Are you the Ratto who sent in a request for us? Ah, so you're the students from Thors. Of course. No wonder your uniform looks so familiar. That's the academy George goes to. To be honest, I'm a bit uneasy about leaving this to you, but you look pretty strong, so hopefully it'll work out. Figures George would have some connections here. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that if you're worrying about how well we clean up in a fight, must be a dangerous job. Yeah, kinda, yeah. Let me explain what I'd like you to do. Professor Schmidt, right? Name does sound familiar, yeah? Professor G. Schmidt, I believe. He was one of the leading disciples of Professor Epstein, the father of the Orbital Revolution. He's a really famous scholar in his own right. He followed in Epstein's footsteps, and his work helped popularize orbits. Indeed, he's generally spoken of as something of a living legend. Professor Epstein also had two other famous students, Professor Russell and Professor Hamilton. Their names tend to crop up together quite often in the orbital sciences. Yeah, I doubt there's a researcher out there who isn't familiar with those three and their work. Besides that, though, if I'm remembering right, Professor Schmidt also serves as president of the Ruhr Institute of Technology? Oh, you don't say. Ah, I wasn't aware that he was doing... I wasn't aware of what he was doing these days. Yeah, he's continuing his research here at the Institute. He can be pretty difficult to deal with at the best of times, though, so he doesn't really do public appearances these days. Gotta say, you seem pretty well informed. Is he an acquaintance of yours, Elisa? Not as such, but he's apparently an old friend of my grandfather's. It's because of the orbital technology the professor brought back to the Empire that the Ranford Company grew so large. At least that's what I've been told. So that's the Empire's largest company hit the big time, huh? So you're the chairman, you're his daughter. Tech must run in the Rhineford blood. You might not know, but the professor's been involved with the development of the Arcus units and the orbital staves, too. Whoa, seriously? I think that may actually be supposed to say staffs instead of staves. That could be a typo, not sure. I did have a feeling that might be the case. The tech used in the Arcus units seemed more advanced than anything I've seen in the standard issue battle ordnance made by the Foundation. It sounds like the only person who could make something like that would be this professor then. Sounds more like a wizard by the minute. The reason I started with this little history lesson is because the request comes from Professor Schmidt himself. I work as one of his assistants, so I put in the request on his behalf. Anyway, I feel like I'm talking your ear off, so let's move on to explaining what it is I'd like you to do. By all means. Okay then, I want you to enter the iron mine and bring me back a small quantity of a minor metal called linium. What's a minor metal? It's a category of rare metals often used in technological development. But I've never heard of linium. I'm not surprised, it's not especially well known even for a minor metal. However, it's got some exciting potential applications in a new airship engine that's currently in development. That'd be quite the mechanical coup. Kinda makes you think of the Courageous. Oh, it's actually related to that, as chance would have it. In addition to the Rhineford Company, both the Foundation and ZCF are involved in the development of the Courageous. The universe is participating too, which have gained us access to all sorts of new technology as a result. Right now we're working day and night to see if we can push what's possible with an airship engine. Okay, so now we know why you guys want the linium for. But why us? Well, extremely small quantities of linium have been extracted from one of the mine's tunnels. But a few years ago, dangerous monsters started turning up residents right in that very tunnel. In the end, it had to be sealed off before we could obtain a large enough sample to run tests on. That story does sound familiar now that I think about it. And if the ore doesn't have any proven applications, it won't be easy to get permission to access the tunnel. That's where we stand at present. If the professor were to petition the army, there's a possibility they'd go and secure the necessary sample. But like I said earlier, he's not the easiest man to deal with. He doesn't want to ask anyone for assistance, not even the army. Sounds like a royal pain in the butt. Can't say I'm not concerned about these purported monsters in the mine, but if we can make a contribution to the advancement of science, we might even see linium pop up in textbooks someday. Yeah, I think we should help him out. I do know the mine chief, so if we explain why we want to head into that tunnel, I'm sure he'll let us in. Oh really, that'd be a huge help. Still, it's an older tunnel and I doubt it's been refortified to the most modern safety standards. Make sure you're really careful when you go in there. Of course, precaution is the best kind of caution. To get to the mine, we'll need to leave town through the eastern exit in the lower level and take the mountain path north. Okay, let's get going. Hello there, Chief. What do we have here? Lady Lisa and her classmates. Thank you for coming to speak with me. That must mean you're Chief Johann, at your service. I'm part of the Rifle Company's 4th Development Division. The 4th Development Division? They're one of the group's major divisions, specializing in orbital communications and battle ordnance. I think they've even supervised the development of the orbital staff. Oh really? That means the reports that I write. Oh, Sir Elliot, are you? I appreciate you always sending us such detailed reports. You're definitely one of the most helpful testers. I'm happy to hear it. Still, orbital communication and battle ordnance. These two sum Arcus up perfectly. Smart kid. Those Arcus ordnance of yours are one of the most important R&D projects right now. Now that you know we're focused on the Arcus, do you think you could help us out with a little investigation? What do you say? Sure, that could be interesting. Oh, you would? Thanks a lot. What is this you'd like us to help you with then? Well, as I wrote in the request I sent you, I'd like you to conduct an investigation on Arcus signal strength. Imagine involved in making use of the wireless communications capabilities of your Arcus ordnance. And assume that you're aware of the fact that they use orbital waves to make that possible. Today I would like to search for places where those orbital waves are weak. Where those places are weak, huh? Well, the highways are the first place that come to mind, so we're looking outside the city. No, I want you to conduct your investigation inside the city. Wireless orbital waves are not always the most stable things in the world. You might generally get a stronger signal inside a town, but the strength still varies depending on where you are. Now that you mention it, yeah. There's some places where it's tough to get a call to go through. But how are we going to find them? I probably should have started by giving you this. An orbital wave detector? That's right. It's just what you think. Detects and provides information on the orbital waves wherever you use it. If you find an area where you think the signal will be reduced, try switching this on. Why don't you give it a try? Okay then. Some words came up. It says the signal strength in this area is 3, didn't it? Read that right. The number that appears tells you how strong the orbital wave signal is in that area. Scale of 1 to 3, with 3 being the highest. In other words, the signal strength here in the source is excellent. Any call you made would be crystal clear. What I want you to search for, though, are areas where the orbital staff wave detector displays a result of 1. Sounds simple enough. Well, I understand what it is that you're asking us to do. What sort of thing would weaken an area's signal? Well, there are 2 main causes. First cause is the waves being physically obstructed, like by walls or ceilings, stuff like that. Second is interference from other kinds of orbital waves. What other kinds are there? Tons of devices other than the Arcus use orbital waves. Think radios. And other communication devices. Some orbits give off orbital waves too, but really just a negligible amount. Sometimes when you get multiple kinds of waves in an area, they interfere with one another, meaning neither works properly. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my first time hearing about it either. Sounds like it could be a real problem. Certainly is. It's probably the biggest drawback to wireless communications technology. That said, orbital waves are pretty strong outdoors, so you generally don't have to worry about it unless you're inside. Let's see, well, that'll narrow down an investigation if we stay indoors. In general, yes, you may find a few areas with weak signal strength outside, but they're much more common indoors. For the purpose of our research, we'll need you to find at least 3 different problem areas. If you can find more than that, we'd be thrilled, but that's up to you and how much time you have. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Any further questions? Nope, I think that's everything we need. We'll start right away, Chief. Thanks, kids. Check out the airport. Never mind. This is playing a single strength of 1. Maybe the cathedral's so sturdy orbital waves can't even get through. Possibly there's no antenna here either. Hotel Lagrange.
This way leads to Marquis Rogner's mansion.
So that's where Jellica's stubborn old man lives, huh? Better stay away.
Excuse me, could you spare us a moment of your time? We're the student from Thors Military Academy who has to summon a monster from you. Oh, you're from Class 7, are you? Heard that you'd be handling the monster. I'm skeptical that a handful of kids would be able to do the task. I'm not skin off my nose, you probably won't handle as well as we could, but give it your best shot. Of course. They just rubber stamp the enlistment form wherever you get to school butt who wants to join up with the provincial army. I know it seems that way, but well, maybe you're onto something there. Makes easy to know what they're thinking though. Just don't let it get to you. Soon as you exterminate the monster, report directly back to us. If you're somehow still having trouble wrapping your brain around what to do, suppose I can answer your questions. Nah, we're good. We're good, fam. So that's the one, huh? Perhaps it's because of the way it's built. The actual bar area is pretty far into the building. Very possible, possibly. There's also a radio playing in here, which might interfere with the things too.
Looks like a dead end.
This was some kind of maintenance room, I think.
I have a feeling we're gonna have to use that maintenance room later. Actually, why don't I check the headquarters? Dang. Well, this mountain path looks kind of dangerous. Well, at least it's maintained. Good grief, nobody said anything about leaving after having to climb a mountain today. I'm already feeling bushed. There's a freight line that goes right into the mine, right? Why can't we just use that? Oh, come on. We're students, not train-hopping vagabonds. Just think of this as another part of our training. Jeez, lighten up a little, you guys. Looks like there's some wildlife on this path that might prove dangerous. Let's be careful as we go. Roger that. Guess it can't be used here.
Plain old stairs just wouldn't cut it for the famed industrial metropolis, huh?
For better or worse, this is a town full of tech.
Oh my words. Perhaps it's because the researchers are using orbital waves in their experiments. It's hard to say for sure. What's that 3 minimum, right? If you're from place already, do you want to keep on looking? Fine by me, tell me what you found. So you ended up finding 3 different spots. Good job. Just what I needed to continue my research. Thank you very much for your assistance. You're more than welcome. I'm glad to have been of service. By the way, I couldn't help wondering when you were on our little jaunt. For an area with a single strength of 1, does that flat out mean we won't be able to make a call on our Arcus? You should still be fine. What's the problem then? Well, the problem is this has to do with the rollout of the orbital net, doesn't it? You got it in 1. I should have guessed you'd figure it out. For the less technically inclined, what does that mean? Well, I can't pretend to be an expert on it myself, but what we've done today has taught you that orbital waves can be unstable by virtue of being wireless, right? Plus, the amount of data you can transfer wirelessly is less than you could transfer through a wired connection to begin with. As long as you're just transferring voice data through orbital waves, low signal strength isn't a huge problem. If you're transferring more complex data like the text or picture files on the orbital computers at the Academy, the low signal strength would pose a problem, correct? So in other words, you're trying to increase the amount of information you can transfer wirelessly. For that orbital net thing or whatever you called it? Exactly, the orbital net has only just started to gain traction here in Erebonia. But the Epstein Foundation in particular is making a lot of progress with their research in the field. There's even a project underway to connect Le Mans State and Crossville State with a wireless network. So we can't exactly sit on our hands here. That's where this data you've gathered comes in. I'm sure to put it to good use. Okay, give me my word. What have we got left? I really appreciate what you've done for me today. Our pleasure. Keep up the good work. Okay, go. It was here.
Tough. Careful!
It's my turn! You won't be so lucky next time!
Watch out. This is a... Here we go. Here we go. Go!
I've got you! I can do... Now!
Go!
You okay?
Mine. Go! Let's go, everyone!
Leave it to me! It's my turn.
My turn.
Leave it to...
Right!
Hang in there!
My turn.
It's my turn!
Is it performance check?
Leave it to me! Got it?
Will do. It's my turn.
Okay. I'll handle
Leave it to me.
it. My turn.
Go!
My turn. Hanson,
I did it!
please hold your applause.
These things sure are convenient.
I know, right? I could see them building some in Heimdall eventually.
So you were able to exterminate the monster on the West Highway, weren't you? Well done. That's some busy work off our plate. Well then, here's your reward. Don't use it all in one place. Thank you very much. Well then you're excused. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and all the other stuff. Deuces.